Something I get asked quite a lot is how do you get motivated to recover? And I tell you what, I get asked that by people in recovery, but the really painful times when I get asked that is when it's a parent of a person in recovery, usually a parent or loved one, sometimes partner and stuff like that, and it's like somebody else desperately wanting a person to want to recover, and that person has just no interest in recovery, and that's just, it's heartbreaking. And I find I struggle with that because I can't fix it. I don't have the answer. I'm just like, yeah, you can just do your best, and that person's not going to recover until they want to. I don't believe that there's anything that anybody else, I think if you don't want to recover, then nobody else can make you. No one can force you. People can force you into treatment. People can force feed you. But nutritional rehabilitation, even if that's achieved, is not full recovery. In order to fully recover, we have to do the neural rewiring bit. And no one can force you to do that. No one can force you to start challenging your thoughts, start challenging your own behaviours, do things differently. So no one can force the neural rewiring. And one of the really awful things about eating disorders is the reality is that many of us, for a long time, don't want to recover. I know I didn't want to change for ages. And I know that in that time that I didn't want to change, nobody could have made me change. My parents tried begging me, threatening me, like just anything they could. They must have tried the whole lot. I can't imagine that over the years, all of the emotions that they went through trying to deal with me. But because I was an adult, my onset was like almost 18, I moved out. So what could they do? They couldn't even threaten me of anything. They had they had nothing to like even try and bribe me with, because I was independent. I had a job. I had a place. I had a car. Like, what the hell could they do? Absolutely nothing. And even if they had been able to use leverage to, if they owned my car or something and they used that, I don't think it would have worked. I think I would have just flipped out, and I don't know what I would have done, but yeah. So there's no easy answer to that question. That's why I hate that question, because it just must be the most hopeless thing in the world if you're a parent of somebody and you're desperately worried about them and they have an eating disorder, and you're asking everybody, all the professionals, therapists, doctors, people like me, what can I do? Pretty much the answer is you can hope for the best. I think that there's certainly things that parents can just consistently do, which is helpful, like encourage eating, encourage no food rules, like encourage unhealthy food, like all of that stuff, just encourage unrestricted eating, encourage rest, all of those things. I think that if anybody, parent or partner or friend, can influence with that, I think that that's helpful. But nobody can make you recover. And that's awful for the people that love you. It also means that people get burnt out, I think. I know my parents kind of got a bit burnt out with me. It's almost like they were just like, nothing's going to change. There's nothing we can do. So they probably gave up a little bit. But, one of the things that was really amazing is my mum never gave up telling me the truth. Everybody else would like, oh, hi, you look great, when I looked awful. My mum would be like, you look awful. And I love her for that. Because when everybody else is pretending that you're, that you don't look awful, then it's almost like that would, in my brain, translate to, oh, I'm obviously fine. Uh-huh. And it's because it's, people that aren't your parents don't necessarily want to walk up to you and be like, oh my God, you look like shit. But I'm really glad that my mum did that and always did that. I'm really glad she always told me that's not enough food, you're not eating enough food. It annoyed the fuck out of me at the time. maybe crazy mad at her. And I'd be crazy mad at her, and I'd scream at her, and I'd get into a big argument, and I'd leave the house, and I'd drive away. But as I was driving away, there would just be a part of me that was like, she gave me permission to eat more. And there was a part of me that always listened to that. So I think that one thing that parents, partners, friends, the best thing they can do is just be honest. If someone's not eating enough food, tell them that. Don't congratulate half a potato or whatever. Really push for it. Push for eating a lot of food. Push for a lot of rest. So, yeah, that's a question that I get asked a lot. Dependent on the circumstance, there's sometimes things I can suggest for parents. But I know that you lot listening to this or watching this, because it's a video, I know that you are likely to be people in recovery yourselves. So I want you to have a little bit think about this question. How could a loved one have influenced you to take recovery action sooner? Are there any ways that you think that loved ones actually did help you and did motivate you to recover and supported you in recovery? If a parent was to ask you that question, what would have influenced your recovery when you didn't want to recover at all? You really didn't want to recover, and you wanted to be like, fuck the world to anybody that wants me to try and eat more food. When you were in that place, is there anything that anybody could have said to have pulled you out of it? I really want to know, because I think that if we can brainstorm and poll your ideas, your responses, then maybe we could create a better resource for parents, partners, loved ones, friends of adults in recovery, not kids, adults that can leave, adults that don't have to do as anyone tells us. We could create a resource for people who love adults in recovery of maybe helpful ideas, things that maybe they could do. That would be great. So leave your responses in the comments. Thank you.